With the help from the legend himself, Jaromir Jagr, the Florida Panthers surprised a lot of people by finishing the season with 103 points, winning the Atlantic Division and making the playoffs, only to be ousted by the New York Islanders in the first round. And they've had an amazing start to this offseason. They just re-signed Jaromir Jagr to a one-year contract, and why wouldn't you? He's still playing amazing hockey. And they just acquired the rights to Keith Yandle. Now, is Keith Yandle still the player he was when he was with the Arizona Coyotes, or I guess back then the Phoenix Coyotes? No. But is he still a good top four defenseman? Yeah. Obviously, Keith Yandle is near the top of the Panthers' priority list this offseason, and spending a couple late-round draft picks to get a head start negotiating with him, that's not a bad deal at all. And the Panthers revealed their new logo and jerseys for next season, and they look really nice in my opinion. So a very good offseason start for the Florida Panthers, but the next thing on the list is the draft. Now, unlike the previous few teams I featured, the Florida Panthers actually do still own their first round pick. They picked 23rd overall. But with a lot of their young players just about to come into their prime in the next season or two, I think it might be smart for them to trade that pick for a player who's ready to play right now. Now, the Panthers are in a very unique situation where they are a playoff team and have a ton of cap space. According to CapFriendly.com, they have $20 million of cap space going into this offseason. I hear the Red Wings are trying to clear out some cap space. They're trying to go after Radulov and maybe even Stamkos. So maybe you can send them the 23rd overall pick and get back Yurko or Tatar, maybe even Nyquist, but I think the Panthers are going to have to sweeten the deal a bit to get a guy like Nyquist. Maybe it's neither of those guys. All I'm trying to say is that the Red Wings are looking to clear some cap space, and maybe you can get back an NHL-ready player for him if you were to send them the 23rd overall pick. Now on to the pending RFAs and UFAs, and the big pending RFA for the Panthers is Trocheck. Vincent Trocheck had a breakout season at the best possible time for him, and that might result in him getting a contract of near $4 million a season. Again, with the cap space that the Panthers have, what's $4 million for a good second-line center? Now, one of the reasons why the Panthers have so much cap space this summer is the fact that Brian Campbell's contract finally expired. Campbell was making just a little bit more than $7 million a season for the past few years. He was worth maybe $5 million. The only reason Campbell has this contract is because years ago the Panthers were way below the minimum salary cap, so they gave him this massive contract so they could just hit the cap floor. And finally this summer he's going to be a UFA. I wouldn't be surprised if the Panthers brought him back, but it's not going to be for $7 million, I can assure you that. The two other big pending UFAs for the Florida Panthers is Teddy Purcell and Yuri Hrdlik. I think Purcell is going to make about $3.5 million a season in his new contract. I just don't think that contract is going to be with the Florida Panthers. While Yuri Hrdlik can make almost $1 million more, maybe around $4.5 million to $5 million a season, I just think that the Florida Panthers are going to re-sign him. It's going to be after July 1st and after they possibly lose out on some other goal scorers. Now, which UFA goal scorer should the Panthers go after this offseason? Mikhail Bodker. Bodker's name comes up a lot when I talk about teams' needs. Bodker is just a guy that most teams can't afford, and most teams need a guy like him. He's got good hockey smarts, he's fast, he's got a good shot, and he's a pretty underrated playmaker in my opinion. I think Bodker would do amazing on the Panthers. Heck, I think he'd do amazing on a lot of teams. Which is why I think teams need to be careful when they try to sign this guy, because I think there's a big chance that he gets overpaid this summer. Now, let's say the Panthers can't sign Yandle to a new contract and he does become a UFA on July 1st. Another defenseman they could go after at that point could be Chris Russell. He plays a much more defensive style of hockey than Keith Yandle, but he's still a good top four defenseman. He's one of the best shot blockers in the league, and he's a guy you want on your team in the playoffs, and he showed that to everybody with Dallas in the postseason. So the key to the Panthers offseason is to improve the defensive group, and they have a great start to that by getting the negotiation rights to Keith Yandle, signing Vincent Trocheck to a good but not too expensive contract, and seeing how much you can get back for the 23rd overall pick, hopefully an NHL-ready player. So thank you for listening to me talk about the Panthers offseason plan. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. It would mean so much to me. Please like my page on Facebook. It's all about hockey. It's called The Hockey Gods. The link to it is down below. And please email me any questions if you just want to talk hockey to theshanaclan19@gmail.com. And I'll see you back for the next video.